Hi, my name is Paul Westsells, President and CEO of Western Copper and Gold, and I'd like to welcome you to our virtual site tour. Welcome to the top of the Casino deposit. 2.4 billion tons in measured and indicated, 1.5 billion tons in inferred, one of the largest copper gold deposits in the world. And also, this is a great vantage point to talk a little bit about the project. So directly behind me is the exploration camp right now. When this is actually built and operating mine, that will be where the milling operation is. Over there, to my left, is where the heap leach is going to be located. And importantly, down the valley that's right below me is where the tailings are going to be deposited. As part of the project, we will be developing a full two-lane access road, and we were really excited a couple of years ago when the Prime Minister actually showed up in the Yukon and announced 100% funding for the first half of that access road and 30% funding for the second half of that access road. So obviously a great vote of confidence in the project, and also knocked off a little bit of the capital as well. Along that access road, sort of in that little valley that's shown right there, that's where the camp is going to be. And I think we'll all agree that it could be some excellent views from that camp once it's up and running. The airstrip that we landed on and where the camp is here and where the core racks are here is actually where we plan on building the eventual milling operation. So if you notice, the airstrip that we landed on actually has a little bit of an incline, which isn't great for an airstrip, but is actually really, really good for a series of flotation tanks, which you actually want to be cascading downwards. But you know, approximately over in that area there, you'll have our one large SAG mill and two ball mills, and then that's followed by the flotation circuit. And we announced a new resource this week, bringing the overall resource up to 2 billion tons. So with 2 billion tons of overall resource, we definitely need to have a good-sized operation. So 120,000 ton per day milling operation, and we also have a heap leach operation. The heap leach operation is up over on that hill behind where the milling operation is, and that runs at 25,000 tons per day. The heap leach operates for about 15 years, and then the milling operation operates for 22 years. The Casino deposit is a big copper gold deposit. It's got 14.5 million ounces of gold in measured and indicated resource, plus another 6.6 million ounces of gold in inferred. In the copper side, it's got 7.6 billion pounds of copper in measured and indicated, and 3.3 billion pounds in inferred, for a total 21 million ounces of gold and 11 billion pounds of copper. But it all starts here with little teeny chips of rock, which is about as advanced as I get with it. But I'm going to pass it off to Carl, our key geologist here, to explain it in more detail.
The Casino deposit is what is called a copper gold porphyry deposit. And these are typically very large deposits in the order of hundreds of millions of tons. But even by those standards, this one is particularly large. It's 2 billion plus in measured and indicated, and it's 1 billion plus in inferred on top of that. And the mineralization here consists primarily of disseminated copper and some vein moly with gold associated with the copper, but it also consists of later gold-bearing copper veins, which will add considerably to the overall gold grade. The deposit consists of three main zones. There's a leach cap, because this area is unglaciated. So we have a leached cap that millions of years of rainwater and snow runoff have allowed the copper and the moly to be essentially dissolved into the water and then collect in the underlying layer called a supergene. And that supergene is enriched in essentially all of the metals. And below that is the hypogene, which is the majority of the deposit, and it extends to a depth of about 500 to 600 meters. So it is a huge deposit. The 2020 drill program consists of about 12,000 meters of diamond drilling, mostly fairly large core. There's three main target areas. There's what we call the gold zone, which is the area that's most prospective for the later copper gold veins. There's the north zone, which is an attempt to extend the known deposit further to the north. And then there's the Canadian zone, which is on the west side, which is an area that's just directly upslope of active placer mining, where the recoveries of gold from placer are actually quite significant. So it's an attempt to find the source of that. Okay, this is the interval from last year that has actually led to the design of this year's drill program. Because a lot of our focus, as I said, is to try and find high-grade gold. And last year, what happened was the core was adequately logged, but then it was cut and then it was shelved away. So our first task this year was to try and figure out just what runs. So we went, and this is the first thing we did this summer, was come in, pull this core, and see what's going on. And it was pretty clear, it was pretty straightforward. We found visible gold in a little seam. This is the one that ran 55 grams per ton over 3 meters. So it was quite an impressive intersect. This sample here ran somewhere in the neighborhood of about 6 grams per ton gold. And what we have concluded, this is the other major setting, is that you get chalcocite, this is the dark mineral, it's a copper mineral, and you get chalcopyrite, which is the one that looks a little like fool's gold. It's not real gold, but associated with this came in after everything else, and this is where we have concluded that many of the higher grade intercepts from past drilling come from.
To the west of the casino pit, located up that valley, is our new acquisition, the Canadian Creek Project. We're really excited about the Canadian Creek Project. It has a whole bunch of drill targets. This year we're targeting 2 of those. First of all is an extension of the high-grade gold, which we're starting here and then continuing on into that project. But the one that has most of us excited is the Anna target. And the Anna target represents another copper gold deposit that hasn't been drilled really to any extent yet. Let me run through some of the highlights of the Casino project. First of all, it is a large copper gold porphyry. 21 million ounces of gold, 11 billion pounds of copper, one of the largest copper gold projects in the world. This is a real emerging gold district. You've got Newmont over there with the Coffee Project, you've got White Gold doing exploration. I mean, we have 25 to 30 million ounces of gold in various stages of resource within a 50-kilometer radius of where I'm standing right now. And it's undeveloped. And where else in the world are you going to find that? We've got a full feasibility study that we completed in 2013 that show absolutely stellar economics at very conservative metal prices. We have great jurisdiction. We love being up in the Yukon. It's a very mining-friendly jurisdiction. We've had great exploration success recently. We found a new high-grade gold zone in the south of the deposit that we're looking to further delineate this year. And last, we've got a clear path forward. We've got exploration this year, that'll go into a feasibility study, likely next year, and then back into permitting. And I always love showing people this, the outhouse with the best view in the Yukon. On a really clear day, if you look all the way over there, you can actually even see Mount Logan.